Xbox is having a special live show at Gamescom where we get all the latest news announcements for the Xbox One X in 4 days, 21 hours, 39 minutes, and 50 seconds. And I'm going to try to predict what Microsoft will show off. What's going on, guys? Randall, Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Yesterday we talked about Sony and Paris Games Week, talking about what they possibly could show off there. So I feel it was appropriate to do my Gamescom's predictions for Xbox. Like I said, we're on the Xbox website. They have the countdown to when the stream will start. It's August 20th, 12 Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. I'm sure everybody's going to be tuned in, waiting to see what Microsoft decides to show off here. And I have a list of things that I think are going to be there. So let's talk about that right now. So first and foremost, I think everybody's waiting for the pre-orders for Xbox One X. And I think August 20th, during the show, whether it's the beginning of the show, the middle of the show, or the end of the show, they are going to open up those sweet pre-orders that people have been waiting for. Whether you're going to get it at Best Buy or GameStop or Amazon. I'm getting mine at GameStop because, well, they're paying for it essentially, and you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing, at least for a lot of people, is finally pre-orders. You know, E3 was in June, and we're at the almost September, and pre-orders aren't even available yet. Obviously, they haven't happened at all this month, so they're going to happen at Gamescom. It only makes sense. Now, there's some talk about surprises. Major Nelson's on a podcast not that long ago talking about surprises, team working on for these pre-order stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Microsoft decides to throw in a game, whether it's Crackdown 3 in with the system if you buy it on Xbox One X, and that would be cool. You get a $60 game to go along with your system, or maybe like a choose-your-own bundle. Like, hey, you buy an Xbox One X, and you can choose between Crackdown, Super Lucky's Tale, Forza, you know, Assassin's Creed, Shadow of Mordor, something like that. Like, maybe something like that to go along with that. And if there's any other bundles, a $600 bundle with extra controller or bigger hard drive, or even just plain old new bundles for the Xbox One S. That'll be announced during this show, in my opinion. So a lot of people are looking forward to those pre-orders opening up. I'm one of them. Can't wait to get my X on November 7th. Now, of course, one of their games that are definitely going to be showing off there, kind of leaked, is the Record Definitive Edition. You know, they've been kind of talking about this for a while. Sounds like it's going to have some cool stuff. It's got HDR, it's got a new level, it's got a new bot. I've heard a couple other things about the Definitive Edition. Sounds like it could get people interested in the game again. And honestly, the fact that Microsoft is doing a Definitive Edition of the game, I think that means they have faith in the franchise. I think we'll actually get a Recore 2. The other game they did a Definitive Edition for was Ori, and that was just announced at E3, you know, Ori the Will of the Wisps. So I think if you didn't have plans on doing a Recore 2, if you had no faith in the franchise, then I don't think you do a Definitive Edition. I think this is a good sign that maybe Microsoft feels there's room for growth in Recore, and maybe in a couple years from now we get a Recore 2 that is bigger budget and you know, a better game. So you know, look for that. I think it's going to be announced during the live show, and I think it's going to come out August 29th as per the leak. Now, of course, they'll probably mention that, hey, if you already own Recore, you get the Definitive Edition, because I don't think they're going to make people buy it again. That wouldn't be cool. What else we got? Forza 7. Europe loves their racing games. Forza is pretty big there. It only makes sense to show off more Forza, whether it's new cars or new tracks. You're definitely going to get a lot of Forza 7. Now, they're not going to tease Forza Horizon 4. This is just going to be about Forza 7, but definitely that is going to be there. What else? Super Lucky's Tale, they'll probably show off some more gameplay for. That's another game coming out on November 7th that Microsoft is publishing, so look for that. And that, of course, leads us all the way back to the other game Microsoft has for the holidays, a launch title with the Xbox One X, and that is Crackdown 3. Now, I've mentioned before that I haven't been a fan of what they've shown of the game so far, even though I am excited to play the game. Hopefully at this Gamescom live show, we get a look at what everybody's been wanting to see, and that is the multiplayer destruction of the game. And I hope it impresses. I really do. Can't wait to see what it is. But my off-the-wall prediction for Crackdown 3 is that the multiplayer won't launch with the full game on November 7th. Multiplayer will be delayed until sometime next year, and that when Crackdown comes out on November 7th, it will just be the single player. I know, people are probably like, Rand, that's dumb, blah, 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 blah. And you're right, but it's a prediction show. It's off-the-wall predictions, so just take it for what it is. I just think, you know, that the multiplayer is not finished yet, the cloud stuff, and they're going to launch it sometime next year. Maybe you get like a beta or something with the game, but I would love to be wrong, and the game launch with single player and multiplayer, but it's, like I said, just a prediction. Don't get all angry, just a prediction. So let's move on to the marketing deals that Microsoft has. Assassin's Creed and Shadow of War, Middle-earth Shadow of War, they're definitely going to be there as well. Ubisoft's going to want to take another chance to show the game off, and it has been showing off well. And Shadow of War has kind of been in the news lately for the wrong reasons, for all the microtransactions that it has. So I'm sure they're probably itching another chance to show off why you want to play the game, you know, the good gameplay and stuff like that. So both those games, I'm sure, will show up with new gameplay demos and things like that. And of course, one of the other big games that is kind of exclusive to Xbox this holiday is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, the game that is sweeping the PC scene, 6.5 million sold or whatever it is now. I think it'll be there. They'll show gameplay. I believe there's tournaments going on at Gamescom as well. But I think what you're going to get on the Xbox side is you're going to get a release date announcement. I think they'll come on and they'll say it'll launch in game preview on Xbox One, and I think it'll be in September sometime. A couple weeks after Destiny 2. I think they'll launch it in end of September, maybe the last week before October. And I think they want to get that game out there before, you know, the heavy hitters start hitting at the end of October and November. So I think that is what you'll get. You'll get a release date announcement for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And I don't think you get the announcement that I know a lot of people out there want it to be a full exclusive, never coming to Sony, PS4. I don't think you're going to get that. I think that game will come to PS4 sometime next year. And it'll probably be a while, because I could see PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds being in game preview for quite some time. So look for a release date announcement from that. And of course, since Gamescom is like a European thing, I expect maybe a European developer to be there. And I was thinking, well, CD Projekt Red be there showing off Cyberpunk? And I was like, nah, they're too big for that. That'd be either their own event or E3. I was like, what about 4A and Metro Games? I was like, nah, it's probably too early to show off something for Metro again. I was like, But then I was like, hey, Crytek, you know, they got a new game they're showing off. It's called The Hunt. Maybe they get on there and then they show The Hunt during the live stream. I think that would be interesting. What else are we going to have to show off? Cuphead. Cuphead releases end of September. Microsoft seems to be really behind the game already. They started up the advertising, was on Conan's, Clueless Gamer. So I think they'll show some gameplay off, maybe a new boss fight or new, the side-scrolling levels. And that'll probably lead into an ID at Xbox segment. You know how they like to do montages for a lot of the games coming to ID at Xbox this year and next year, so they can kind of like fill out the number of games they show. I definitely think that will be there as well. And of course, since the Xbox One X is coming out soon, I think we'll get a montage of games that are getting enhanced. I think they'll talk about Gears of War 4 and how that's getting enhanced. I think they'll even talk about Halo 5. Halo 5 was recently announced to get like that big 4K patch. And maybe they do something with Master Chief Collection. But I think they'll go more into depth about the games getting the X treatment, the X enhanced treatment, whether it's their own first-party games or whether it's the third-party games. I think that is, you can pretty much count on that, because it's about time Microsoft has to get out there and kind of like tell people like, hey, this is the difference. Like, this is why you need an X over the S. Like, the S is great, and we love everybody who has the S, but this is the X. this is what it's going to do. Look at the differences between the two. Like, I think you need to start kind of doing side-by-side comparisons, and that would be great to show off during this live stream. You could do that, side-by-side comparisons, because you could prepare the video beforehand and just kind of roll it, you know? I think they'll also show off Avatars version 3. You know, we had Mikey Barr on our podcast last week when he talked about everything Xbox and the new update and stuff. We know Avatars are getting redesigned. We're just not sure when they are. Jez Corden of Windows Central, my co-host on Xbox 2, recently had a look at them. He had an article on Windows Central, and I think they'll probably demo them a little bit more. Maybe their place in the dashboard, how they'll fit in, how they'll, you know, bring them forward, because they're kind of hidden right now. You know, they're not very prominent. They're buried menus deep. So I think maybe we'll see more of the avatars and how they, you know, fit into the current home screen on the dashboard, and maybe some changes to the dashboard that they have you know, taken since the feedback. I think that would be pretty cool. You know, thinking about like the other games that Microsoft has coming out next year, like State of Decay and Sea of the Thieves. Maybe they show trailers for them again. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they want to like keep on doing that. You know, maybe they showed the trailers from before, but I'm not sure we'll get big demos for either of those games. Like, I know we had the 8-minute like demo for Sea of Thieves at E3, which was actually really good and got a lot of press. Do they really go to the well again and try to do another one for Sea of Thieves? I don't know. I don't really see them doing anything more with State of Decay 2 or Sea of Thieves. Although I could be wrong. I don't know how long this live show is going to last, and maybe to fill out time, maybe they do more stuff for State of Decay and Sea of Thieves in the future. Anyways, guys, those are kind of some of the things I'm looking, you know, forward to. My predictions for Xbox and Gamescom. Let me know what you think is going to be shown there. Hit up the comments. Let me know if you think I'm right. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know what you think is going to be there. I'd love to read all that stuff. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are new, if this is your first time to the channel. I really would appreciate it. Share the video out on Twitter and all the social media places so more people can discover it. And I just want to thank you guys for sticking through the video, watching all the videos I put out on a daily basis. It means a lot. Thank you so much. And I will see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.